Alright, so quick video on what we did today. Today we're factoring with just x squared in the front, trinomials. So in order for us to do this, we're going to start by factoring the last term. That's this one. And then we're going to pick the factors that add or really combine, because some of them might be negative with a positive, to give me the middle term. Factors of 15, 1 and 15, 3 and 5. And then they need to multiply to give me x times x will give me x squared. The middle term is 8. So we're going to pick 3 and 5 because 3 plus 5 will give me 8. Since they're all positives, I don't have to worry about the sign. Let's do it again. Factors of 20. 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. We need the factors that will combine to give me a negative 12, or add, right? Add to give me negative 12. So it's going to be 2 and 10. Now the signs, because this is positive, have to be the same, but because this is negative, they both have to be negative. So you can check it. Negative 2 times negative 10 will give me a positive 20, and negative 2 plus negative 10 will give me a negative 12. So factors of 9, 1 and 9, 3 and 3. So it's going to be x, x, and then we pick the factor that will give me a 6 because that's the middle term. So obviously it's 3 and 3. And since they're all positive, I don't have to worry about the sign. Plus 3, plus 3. So to check it, they need to multiply to give me the last term, and they need to add to give me the middle term. Number 6, very similar. And it is also, it's 9 and the middle term is 6. So it's also 3 and 3. But because the middle term is negative, then they both have to be negative when the last one is positive. Negative times a negative will give me a positive 9, and then negative 3 plus negative 3 will give me negative 6. Careful with those negatives. Let's do another one. Factors of 8, 1 and 8, 2 and 4. And they need to add to give me that middle term, which is 6. So it's going to be 2 and 4. Now, since they need to multiply to give me the last number positive, and they need to add to give me the middle number negative 6, they both have to be negative. Negative 2 plus negative 4 is negative 6. Negative 2 times negative 4, positive 8. Let's do the last ones. The last ones, if you notice, the last number is negative. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult, I guess. Just you have to think a little bit. This one, it's a 3 though, so we know that 3 only has 2 factors. It's 1 and 3, right? Now, they need to multiply to give me a negative 3, so the signs cannot be the same. So one has to be positive, one has to be negative. Since the middle term is positive, then the bigger one has to be positive. So when I combine them, I end up getting a positive 2. It helps us to check because they should multiply to get the last number. And then they should add, and then add is in quotations because really it's combining like terms to get the middle number. Okay, la middle. Okay, so that's how you could check it. They multiply to give me a negative 3, and they add to give me a positive 2. Let's do it again. Factors of 5, well, it's just 1 and 5, so that should be easier. X, x, 1, 5. They need to multiply to give me a negative 5, so I have to be different signs. And the middle one is a positive 4, so the bigger one has to be positive. All right. Factors of 20, 1 and 20, 2 and 10, 4 and 5. So they need to multiply to give me the last number, and add or subtract to give me the middle number. Well, really it's add, but you know it's combined like terms. The middle one is a negative 1. So here, none of them add in quotations to give me a 1. But 4 minus 5 would give me a 1, and that makes sense because our signs have to be opposite since they need to multiply to give me a negative. So one will be positive and one will be negative, so when I multiply them, I end up getting a negative, and the middle term is negative, so the bigger one has to be negative. Then I check it. Negative 4 times negative 5 should multiply to give me the last number, and they do. And negative 4 plus 5 will give me a negative, oops, sorry, I messed up. It should be a positive 4 and a negative 5. So when I combine them and see how I check myself, negative 5 plus 4 will give me a negative 1, or 4 minus 5 is negative 1.